New parents, are you feeling like your relationship has turned into a never-ending cycle of diapers and feedings and sleepless nights? Well, today we are tackling the challenge of maintaining intimacy when you're new parents because, look, your relationship should still feel like a love story, even if it has a new tiny cast member. Welcome back to the Strength of Seduction podcast, the number one resource for Black couples who want to stay in love, build intimacy and connection and just beauty in the relationship. I'm your host, Daniel DiPiazza, and if you're new here and you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to like, to subscribe, and to hit the bell for updates. And of course, if you're listening to this on your favorite podcast platform like Apple or like Spotify, guys, please make sure to subscribe and leave a review. Every single review counts, even a short one. We really, really appreciate it. Now, let's get into the topic at hand today. Before we dive in, let's just acknowledge the obvious. Becoming new parents is a life-altering experience, to say the absolute least. It's beautiful, but it can also be exhausting and stressful, especially for your relationship. So today, we are going to explore some actionable ways to maintain intimacy and connection in the midst of new parenthood. So let's talk about it. The first idea is that it takes a village. We talked about this idea of it takes a village. Well, first up, you have to seek help. And sometimes there's a big amount of importance around this that isn't really thought about. You know, the saying that it takes a village to raise a child is not just a cliche. It is a lifeline for new parents. And that means actively, intentionally enlisting help. Don't hesitate to ask for help from friends and family, whether it's babysitting for a few hours or helping with chores. Every little bit counts. Don't be afraid to lean on others. It's okay to ask for it. And that means that you can have scheduled time for you and your partner and use the help to schedule that time for the two of you. It could be a simple date night or even a short walk together, just a quick breather, but don't be afraid to lean on others. The second is open communication. Now, let's talk about this ever important role of open communication during this new chapter. We talk about this all the time on this channel. And just context for here, listen, with a new baby, your routines and responsibilities have changed forever, but the need for open communication hasn't. In fact, I really think it's increased. And so that means you need to have regular check-ins. Make it a point to regularly check in with each other about your feelings, your concerns, your needs, because those are going to be things that you want to share with your partner. This means having a no judgment zone. Create a safe space where both of you can express your fears and frustrations without judgment, especially in a time that can be very emotionally and mentally taxing. Now let's also talk about the idea of having a quick connect strategy around this. Basically, a way to maintain emotional closeness when you're short on time. This is something that many couples can do, and it will really give a huge benefit to them. And so when you're new parents, time becomes a scarce commodity, but that doesn't mean that you can't find quick ways to connect. So what are some examples of quick affectionate gestures? You know, even just a hug or a kiss or even a loving text can go a long way in maintaining emotional intimacy. You know, we forget to do these things when we're always running around, but they're really important. Even just having a 5-minute talk at the end of your day to just express something that's going on with you other than the baby or the chores, it helps to keep the adult connection alive instead of making everything about the kids. Now, another thing to consider is adapting your intimacy. You know, intimacy as a parent is going to look potentially different, but it doesn't have to disappear. And this is, kind of a touchy subject. But first of all, physical recovery, exhaustion, and the demands of a newborn can take a toll on your intimate life. I mean, women know this better than most, but men can understand this as well. And that means there's also time for non-sexual intimacy during this time. Explore other forms of intimacy like cuddling, like holding hands, like a Strength of Seduction workout. That's why we created this for you guys. And create an intimacy schedule. It might sound unromantic, but scheduling intimate moments can help ensure they actually happen. Schedule a Strength of Seduction workout. Am I pushing it enough? And really the idea here is that the teamwork makes the dream work. You have to have that mindset. And there's such an importance around teamwork when you're navigating the challenges of new parenthood. And I think that more than ever, you should become even a better team. Parenting, of course, is a team sport. And the more you work together, the easier it becomes to tackle these challenges. And that just means divide and conquer. Divide the responsibilities based on each other's strengths and weaknesses and schedules, of course. And this prevents one person from becoming overwhelmed. Hint, hint, dads, take some of it off the mom's plate, and celebrate small wins. Did the baby sleep through the night? Did you both manage to get a hot meal in? Did you both manage to get a shower today? Celebrate these small wins. They add up to a sense of accomplishment and to unity, create this team sport together. So these are just some tips to help you deal with the awesome and incredible and amazing challenge of dealing with a newborn in the house. And I hope that you like this. And if you did, make sure you subscribe on YouTube. Of course, you can look at your favorite platform like Apple or iTunes and Apple or Spotify. Subscribe on there as well. All the links are below in the video description or in the podcast notes. And if you hadn't already, make sure you subscribe to our free newsletter at www.strengthofseduction.com. And of course, follow us on Instagram at Strength of Seduction. As usual, I'm Daniel D. Piazza. I will catch you next time. Peace.